morning, everyone. A lot of our lives have changed in this COVID-19 pandemic. The most fundamental lifestyle change that we all went through is having to wear a mask whenever we go out. Doesn't it feel suffocating wearing a mask whenever we want to talk, walk, or even socialize? But what about the mask that we don't talk about? The one that's not visible to the naked eye? The one that we wear to get everybody to like us, or sometimes to just fit in. The pressure of perfection that the society imposes on us forces us to conceal our true identities behind layers and layers of social expectations and stigmas and carry on with our daily lives. But I believe it is okay to be imperfect. It is okay to not fit in because I believe we are the best versions of ourselves. While I was growing up, I was shorter than all children of my age. The situation has not changed much even now. Can you make a wild guess what my height really is? It's not even 5 feet. That's right, I'm a 4 feet 10. So you can imagine, I've been called all sorts of short height related nicknames as I was growing up. I became very insecure and underconfident. And in order to handle all of that, I did whatever any girl would have done. I went shoe shopping. But it was not easy to find a pair of heels that fit a pair of tiny feet like mine. So after 3.5 hours of vast exploration, I finally found a pair of 6 inches that fit me. So you guys must have heard that phrase, no pain, no gain. So I realized that to gain this much confidence, I had to endure a lot of pain. So I thought to myself, chuck it. Let them accept me for who I am. I'm short. So what? Even Sachin Tendulkar is short. Of course, I am no Sachin Tendulkar. But the day I decided that, I never let my height define what I stand for. I stopped trying to fit in, and that's perhaps the best decision I ever took. And as for those who still laugh at me, I laugh back at them. I laugh back at their vanity. So who do we blame for painting this picture of rosy perfection for us? Do we blame society? Should we blame social media? Should we blame glossy magazines? Well, maybe, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Tell me something. When was the last time you looked at the mirror and said to yourself, I am perfect. I can do whatever I aspire to do? We don't do that often, but that is something we should be doing every day. Unless we start loving ourselves, the world is not going to appreciate us. It was not easy for me dealing with all these insecurities and societal pressures. But there was one person who never stopped believing in me. That person was my father. He was always proud of whatever I did. From winning a small dance competition at school to grabbing my first job after BTech. So whenever I used to feel underconfident about myself and whenever I questioned my abilities, I started looking at myself through his eyes. And that is when I started appreciating myself even more. He made me realize that we should always be aware of our true worth. He was the one who always persuaded me to follow my passion and carve my own path. So always remember this. Whenever you feel underconfident or you question yourself, look at yourself through the eyes of someone who has always believed in you. That will always give you the much needed push. When I joined my first company after BTech, one of my colleagues told me, oh, so you're involved in a lot of things. Here we work even on Sundays. Soon you'll be reduced to nothing but a corporate slave, just like any other engineer. After 1 month, I was terrified to see that his words were slowly coming true. What was even scarier was that I had a good job, I earned enough, but still I had this continuous feeling of resentment and frustration. That is when I realized that this is because I had stopped doing the things I love to do. That is the time when I decided that I need to make time for the things I loved. Yes, I worked on Sundays, but on my days off, I painted, I danced, I did social work. And on the vacation that I got, I attended Rotary International conferences. There I met people from all around the world, and that helped me realize what prospects the world really held for us. I realized that life is way beyond a 6x6 cubicle. We should always take time out for our passions and our hobbies, unless we slowly start losing who we truly are. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are fan of Avenger movies. There's one particular quote from a Captain America movie that I am really fond of. It says, "When the world forces you to move, it is your duty to plant yourself like a tree, look them in the eye, and say, 'No, you move.'" That has been like my holy Bible. Often you'll come across numerous examples of people who chose to take the uncharted routes and stood out from the crowd. The world often forces you to be someone who you are not. But let me tell you something, it always pays to stand out from the crowd. One such inspiring woman is Bachendri Pal. She was the first Indian woman to climb Mount Everest. Nowadays, the Everest summit has become very popular. But 36 years ago, it was unimaginable for a woman. In one of her interviews, she mentioned that her parents wanted her to become a school teacher. Her older brothers would not take her on climbs because they thought that she wouldn't be able to keep up. But she proved all of them wrong and she kept scaling new heights every day. Even when she went on her Everest trek, the people who accompanied her treated her like a baggage. But that did not stop her from listening to her true calling. She broke all barriers and became the first Indian woman to scale the Mount Everest. So you see, the journey of self-realization is not always easy. Often you'll be faced with situations where you'll question yourself and your abilities. I did the same too. When I was in the third year of my college, my mother passed away. I was very protected and pampered, especially by her. So when she passed away, many of my relatives suggested to my father to get me married because they believed that I couldn't survive on my own. I'll be honest with you, even I thought the same at times. I started questioning myself whether I'll ever be able to come out of this. But as I did a lot of self-introspection, I kept questioning myself, is this how I really want to see myself in the long run? Not the mere thought of giving up on my dreams and aspirations got me very scared. So I chose to take a different route. I stood up. I took care of myself. I took care of my father. I studied hard and I got a job. I joined an NGO where I spent time in orphanages and old age homes. There I met people from all walks of lives. I listened to their life stories and that really helped me look at life in a different way. The biggest lesson I learned from this episode was things will not always work out the way we want them to. But there are three things that we should always keep in mind. Number one, never stop believing in yourself. As long as we keep believing in ourselves, the sky is the limit. Number two, be confident in your own skin. We are beautiful. We are perfect the way we are. I have seen YouTube videos of acid attack victims walking the ramp of New York Fashion Week. Their faces have been disfigured, but that couldn't dampen their confidence or the gleam in their eyes. And number three, always be your own identity maker. You define who you are and what you can be. So why wear a mask when you can wear yourself like an armor and show the world who you really are? Actually, why even bother showing anyone anything? Just be yourself and nothing else matters. You can be anything you want to be. So what if you are not perfect? Even if you fail, you'll not have the regret of not trying at all. You can be short yet confident. You can be pampered yet responsible. You can be an engineer as well as a dancer. You can be an MBA as well as a pianist. As the world is slowly coming out of lockdown, it is time we stop hiding behind our masks of insecurities and societal pressures. It's time we shed our layers and discover our true potential. Because I believe we are all awesome in our own unique ways. Thank you.